So let's see. How I do this, I just go 20 years earlier on my quick quote. So our renewal rates are going to be approximately, by the way, they would be guaranteed the preferred plus rate with us as well still.
Yeah.
Why, because they qualified for that before?
Yeah, they qualify for the,
Oh, I didn't know that. How, within how long?
forever.
Forever.
Guaranteed insurability.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No.
You didn't know that?
From another company?
No. With us. If they're with us for the 20 years.
I'm
it's
like
not
thinking you can take.
No,
from
no,
another
no, no.
company.
Okay, so our renewal rates in 20 years,
I was doing math, okay? My brain wasn't hearing everything, all right?
150,000, our renewal rate is about, let me go to yearly, I keep going monthly, annual, 324 a year. Versus
800 something.
800 for one, and 7 for the other, 1,500, right? A year. 324 a year versus 1,500 a year with us. If we just did 20 years. And that's 100,000 more coverage too, by the way. That's for both of them. That's for both of them. You guys see that what you do when you sit down with someone, you just smash it. So Johnny, when you sit down with these people, does that make sense on how to do that?
Yeah.
I'm sitting down and I say, okay, first of all, John and Mary, you have 100,000 coverage. You die tomorrow, it's 100,000 going to last you long. You can be able to get a house on that and raise your kids on that. Not even close, right? Ashley, sometimes Johnny, 100,000 not enough, right? Okay, Johnny, would you agree? Sometimes Ashley, you probably need more than 100,000. Okay, look at this. We can up your coverage, even if we just up the coverage to 150, which still isn't enough, but this just kind of gives you an apples for apples comparison. We can give you more coverage for less money. Make sense? Yes, you build a little cash value, you build a little 6,700 you get back in 20 years. Problem is, in 20 years, you're only 44 years old. And at 44 years old, more than likely, you're probably going to have a house paid off, yes or no? Yeah. You're probably not going to be retired at 44, unless you come up with me. I can help you do that, okay? So in the next, and then you show them the policy, so you can see in the 21st year, look what happens to your premiums. See, with us, our premiums go to a whopping, whatever it was, 324 a year in the 21st year if we did a 20-year term approximately, okay? But we're going to find out how much coverage you actually really need and get you property protected. Does that make more sense? So we're going to kind of scrap all this stuff, start over, and then we're going to show you what you really need. Sound good? So I'm just going to be assumptive. I'm a doctor, right? I'm a financial doctor. When you go into the doctor, you don't go, hey, doc, the doctor doesn't sell you on what you need. The doctor tells you what you need. So I'm diagnosing the problem. The problem is they're uninsured. They're not saying you're investing enough money. Okay, we're going to diagnose, so we're diagnosing it, and then we're going to prescribe the solution, which is finding out how much coverage they really need with our analysis on our dime calculator. So Johnny and Ashley, if you died tomorrow, would you want at least enough coverage to pay off a house?
Yeah.
Okay, and houses are at least 200 grand for a decent house. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So we want 200,000 just to pay off a house. And then Ashley, if something happened to Johnny tomorrow, how much would you need? And you just do this, right? You do you do that page right there. Okay, the financial independence page. Okay. So Ashley, how much you need? Johnny died tomorrow and you were debt free, $2,000 a month. Okay, $2,000 a month for 20 years. Okay, so Johnny actually needs $450,000. You figured it out on here, and Ashley needs $350,000 on her. You give them that quote. That's what more people need more of. Most people need probably around $300 to $500 grand. Most people. That's pretty. I mean, if you're lower than that, you're probably uninsured. I mean, by the time you pay for a house and have some income for 15, 20 years, you need $300,000 to $500,000 in coverage. Really. That's why I don't do a lot of term now. I don't do a lot of term now policies. I mean, if they're a standard rating and they need under 250,000 in coverage, then term now is the way to go. But most people that I sit down with, I mean, I think you need to properly protect them.
Yep.
Even this family I sat down with last night. Okay, and this is something else. Do I have some time?
Yeah, I'm making sure it's good.
Do we? Is the call the next thing on the schedule?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So any questions on that? First of all, is it crystal clear? Not clear as mud, like clear. You can sit down with a client today and do that. You sure?
Yep.
Hey,
Well, I think
Yeah.
one of the hangups, especially if I was brand new, I'd be thinking still, if a family is, if family's broke or whatever, they're still thinking, well, cause I think they still might be kinda stuck on, I think you really.
Can I
have to
afford
make-
it?
Yeah,
Afford it right now.
right.
Okay, so let me talk about that, because that's what I was actually just gonna kind of transition into. So this family last night, now this family last night, they're debt-free, they can afford life insurance, but some people say, well, they're self-insured now, and they actually are, they're self-insured, okay? If something happened to her husband, she makes enough income at her job, she's debt-free, she would be okay. Vice versa, if something happened to her, her husband would be okay. So they are self-insured, and I told her that. I said, look, if you don't want to get any life insurance, that's fine. But I mean, if I were you, if I was them, I would still get life insurance. Because you can get so much coverage for so little, okay? It costs like $80 a month to insure both her and her husband for $50,000 each. Okay, they're older, so it costs more. But so $80 a month to get $50,000 life coverage on each of them for a 10-year term, okay? For me, it just makes sense, because what's life insurance supposed to insure? What's it there to insure?
Standard of living?
Insure your income. It's there to insure your income. I would want to insure my income. If I'm still working, I want to ensure that my income comes in whether I'm alive or dead to my family. That's what life insurance is for. Okay, so I'd say, okay, John and Mary, their names aren't John and Mary, John and Mary, how much are you guys making a month at your jobs right now? You know, and they're making about $2,000 a month each. That's about what they're making. So you guys are making $2,000 a month each. You guys have auto insurance, right? Yeah. How much you pay for auto insurance? About 80 to $100 a month. Probably they're older. They've got good driving records. So I don't know, 80, $100 a month. And that insures what? Your cars. How much are your cars worth? Their cars are probably worth maybe $50,000 total. Maybe. Probably not even that much. Okay. So they're paying 80 to $100 a month to insure a car. You know, that's maybe worth $50,000 total, right? And their house and all that stuff. I say, look, if you insure a car, you know, for that amount of money, doesn't it make sense to ensure that $2,000 a month can come in for a while if you die tomorrow? Out of that $2,000 a month you're bringing in, really it's $4,000 a month. Out of $4,000 a month, doesn't make sense to take $80 a month of that to ensure that $4,000 a month comes in. To me it does. Now if it doesn't make sense, no, I'm not going to push it because they're self-insured at this point. I don't have anybody home and whatever, right? But if I were them, you're debt-free for $80 a month. So you can invest that $80 a month and in 10 years you have like $9 grand. Okay? But if you die in those 10 years, I'd rather have the 50 coming in. Or 100 grand in my, you know, for $80 a month, I would rather have the insurance. Yeah, if you don't die, you don't get it. Absolutely. That's just me, though. But that's what I would bring up. I mean, it makes no sense to me why you would not have term life insurance to protect your family. If you are someone who cares about your spouse, your kids, if you pay for auto insurance, you make that a priority. You got to make it a priority to protect your family, don't you?
Yep.
Okay, so you got to explain that to them and help them understand that. If someone makes an income, they can start it. Okay. So, just real quick, I want to help all of you because if you sit down with somebody who's flat broke and they have kids, right? They've got kids. This is why you got to stay in the right market: married, young kids, and employed. If you're in that market, we should be closing a life policy on that family every time. Now, are you going to close it every time?
Nope.
You're not, because some people just, I don't want to say don't love their family that much, but they show different. Anyway, so I don't know, you guys, that's kind of rude to say. But, I mean, look, man, I think they love their cars enough to insure their cars. They love their cell phone to pay their cell phone bill. They love their satellite TV to pay their satellite TV faithfully, even if they can't, right or wrong.
Right.
They make a priority. If they're bringing in income, they take that income and they pay it to where they see is the biggest priority. Now, before we sit down with them, a lot of times they're just not educated on what to do with their money. That's why people are messed up financially. They're not dumb, they just have never been taught. Okay? So you sit down with John and Mary. John and Mary, your financial situation right now, you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? Yes. Okay? Now, let me ask you some questions. When I walked in your house, I did see that you have Dish Network over there. You have Dish Network? Yeah? All right. You guys have cars. You have auto insurance? Yeah. Is your auto insurance current? Yeah, if it's not, you know, you're really in trouble, right? Right, I mean, goodness sake, right? Is your satellite TV current? Yeah, if that's not current, you know they're really in trouble too, right? But most of the time, is that stuff up to date?
Yep.
So, John and Mary, you make it a priority to pay those things, don't you? What do they say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What's more important to you? If you had to choose between your satellite TV or your cars over your family, is there any way you'd ever choose those things over your family if you had to choose which one's more important to you? Which one's most important to you? What are they going to say every time?
Family's more important.
Did you start with the Stonebreaker says within 3 minutes he's gonna get out.
Okay. So, you all agree that they would say that?
Yep.
If they don't say that, you say, okay, well, thank you for your time. Honestly, there's nothing you can do. I mean, for your time, who else do you know?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there's some assholes that say that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's all they are. And I'm sorry, but they are, Jeff, right? I mean, I don't know what
Hey,
to call
I
it.
know.
Anyway, so you say, so they say, yeah, my family's the most important. Okay, if your family's the most important thing to you, shouldn't they be the first thing you protect? They have to agree, right? And if it costs you, how much paying for auto insurance right now, Jeff? $80 a month. Most people are paying 100 plus, okay? Say it's $100 a month. If you'll pay $100 a month to insure those hunk of metals out, few pieces of metal out there, doesn't it make logical sense to insure your family for $50 a month, or $60 a month, or $40 a month, or $80 a month? Doesn't that make sense? Okay. Because I know your first reaction is going to say you can't afford it, but you can afford your cars. But now you really can't tell me with a straight face you can afford your cars but not protect your family. Would you agree with that? And Jeff, I'm not trying to be offensive here. I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just trying to teach you a concept. Do you agree with that? You don't have to agree with me, but do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Great. Let's see who you qualified for the coverage. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Let's close them.